Here goes the champ again.
Thanks to my guy.
My
guy gave him the belt. Hey!
Brought to you by PaintballToTheEnd.com.
Welcome to 10 Minute Marks, episode number 9! Yay! In this episode, we will be doing WWE rants, and rants about specifically the Bret Hart-Vince McMahon feud. We're going to have a little bit of commentary on Elimination Chamber, and we're going to...
let's go to the chamber.
Let's just go to the chamber. I'm going to start with the chamber, the Elimination Chamber. I watched the pay-per-view, and I thought it was okay at best. The Raw Elimination Chamber was pretty cut and dry. Not much to it. The big Batista surprise, while it explained the reason why Batista didn't wrestle CM Punk at SmackDown, it was just kind of like, okay, you know what's going to happen once Vince McMahon comes out, you know what's going to happen.
Yep.
Drew McIntyre and Kane was blah.
Yeah.
The Divas match was blah. The SmackDown Elimination Chamber was okay. It was pretty cool. It had some good spots in it. And I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say congratulations to myself because I called it. I called it 2 weeks ago on Facebook. I called the whole thing. I said Shawn Michaels is going to cost The Undertaker the title, which I think I said on this show before the Royal Rumble. Yep. And I said...
You predicted that he would do
I predicted that they would take another way other than the Royal Rumble, and I said they'll probably end up doing Shawn screws Undertaker at the Elimination Chamber. That happened.
Didn't you call Batista getting the belt?
Yes, I did.
One of the belts?
Kind of, sort of. After he didn't go to the Elimination Chamber, that kind of put that in doubt, but that was one of my wishes that Batista would win the belt, but they're taking a different path. But anyway,
fair enough.
I called it. I called it a retirement match too, baby. Go onto Facebook and go into the Wrestler app, go into the discussion forum, and you will see mine there from about 2 or 3 weeks ago saying, I'm calling it now. Shawn Michaels and Undertaker will fight in a retirement match after Shawn cost the Undertaker the title. And I said it the night of the pay-per-view that it's going to be Jericho who wins it. My man gave his man the title. I love it! Yeah, I love it. And
We're smart, Marks.
Yes, we're smarts. And it's a retirement match at WrestleMania between HBK and Undertaker, which I think is going to be awesome.
That will be an awesome match.
And
3 matches I'm looking forward to.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Other than that, though, the Elimination Chamber was okay. It was there. But I will hand it over to Paul and let him go on his little rant.
I said there were 3 matches that I'm looking forward to. We're both looking forward to. One of them being Edge and Jericho. And then I'm actually sort of looking forward to Batista and John Cena. But the 3rd match, which they announced on Raw, finally, Bret Hart and Vince McMahon. On the last Raw, they had Bret come out, and of course, he's selling his leg injury, which he's not really injured probably, but he's selling it. And Vince goads him into taking the match at WrestleMania. And of course, Vince is doing it now since he's injured, and they kind of hinted that he was sarcastically saying, no, I wasn't involved in your accident, which he's Vince.
Right.
You know. I did feel it was a little bit rough, I guess, the way they segued Bret into saying, finally, I will do it. But other than that, I thought it was great. And when Vince kept kicking his crutch away and Bret would grab it and get back up, Vince kept kicking it away. I thought that was actually really nicely done. The rant that I'm going to go into, though, concerns more the fans. Before we go into that, I'm not perfect. I'm just a fan too, and I'm just exercising my right to freedom of speech to voice my opinions. And as all the other fans are on the internet that I've talked to, namely on the Facebook forums, some of the WrestleZone forums, the Gaia Online forums, and there are 2 sides that I keep hearing, and this really bothers me. We're going to go with side A. There were a lot of fans I read, especially on GaiaOnline.com, that were like, he should have never come back. I didn't want to see him come back. And I know that he had his stroke, and he's gone through a hell of a lot in his life, and he's in his 50s now, and he can't exactly go full bore in his match. He can't like go like Edge or Jericho can. On the other side of the coin, I was glad to see him back because I wanted him to bury the hatchet with Shawn, which was a huge deal.
Oh yeah,
huge deal, an emotional deal. And also, he left on bad terms with the screw job. So I think it was good for him to come back and kind of pay back to the fans, say, hey, I'm coming back not just for the fans, but for myself and for Shawn and for Vince, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you have, there's fans that are like, oh, he should have never come back. You know, he's frail and he's old. And I don't like that. The other...
Can I voice one thing on that?
Yo, go right ahead.
I think Bret Hart should kick Triple H in the nuts. That's just me.
Yeah, he should. And actually, Bret did a recent interview, and I can't remember exactly what it was. I'll post a link to it on YouTube, where he talked about wanting to do a match with Vince, and he goes, well...
Did he want to kick Triple H in the nuts?
No, he did say that he
should.
He shook Triple H's hand, but that wasn't exactly, the relationship is not exactly cordial. However, Shawn...
He should just kick him in the nuts.
Yeah, he should have just kicked him in the nuts. But he did say that Shawn has been very friendly to him, and they've been talking backstage, and Vince actually felt better about it, and he's been fired up about the storylines.
Kick Triple H in the nuts.
Yes. But anyway, moving on, he said that, well, I could do a match with Vince. I know I'm old and I've had my stroke and stuff, but you know what? I can still do a decent match, and plus Vince McMahon is not Kofi Kingston. So...
This is true.
So I think that'll be good. But also...
If you kick them in the nuts.
Anyway, the other side of the equation, the fans, and these actually bothered me a little bit more. They kept saying, oh, it's a stupid storyline because Bret keeps getting hurt, and Vince keeps knocking him down, and I want to see the sharpshooter, and...
Everybody does.
Yeah, of course everyone does, right? I want to see Vince get the sharpshooter, but of course they're waiting till WrestleMania. And it's like, and they, I can't remember, there was a match that Jeff and I were watching a little while ago where the fans online kept going, this match is too slow, this match is too slow. And it's almost like there's no, I feel like the younger generations, and maybe I'm being totally arrogant and a prick for saying this, but I feel like you, younger generations, don't respect the history of wrestling. You don't respect the past as much as I would like. There was one guy, and there was like, oh, Bret is frail and he's old, he's not as big as Stone Cold or The Rock. And I'm like, well, he didn't need them to get over. He had people like Mr. Perfect to work with, and Shawn Michaels.
Now, see, the thing is, Bret Hart and Vince McMahon can put a good match together, even though one of them's injured. Or one of them's not at 100%, or both of them are. They're still going to put together a good match.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
Even if it's just 10 minutes or 15 minutes. It'll
People
still be
are going to
good.
get thrown to tables and, you know, get tossed out of the ring, and Triple H will hopefully get kicked on the nads and, you know, get a lot of guys.
But anyway, these fans that keep going, wanting things now.
Yeah.
That really bothers me because they don't respect the psychology of wrestling, and they don't respect the work that they put in. They always judge it by face value, and that really bothers me, especially when I see it in Facebook and on Gaia.
Yeah, all you fast food fans out there wanting your French fries right now.
Yeah.
Grab a steak, wait 30 minutes, and you'll enjoy it a lot more. Same thing here.
Yeah. And, you know, me personally, I love the storyline. I love how they're just doing it little by little. They're not oversaturating Bret in there. And that's the difference between, like, someone like Bret and Hogan. Not to trash Hogan or anything, because he's important to the business, but you see Hogan, like, being put in the middle, as we ranted about, in TNA. But with Bret, they're not shoving it down your throats. He's just kind of, he's doing his part little by little. And of course, his return was very welcome by me because I wanted to see him have a final exit out of WWE with peaceful intentions and just, you know, doing the right thing.
Kicking Triple H in the nuts.
Yes. But I can't stop laughing at that. That is my rant. And to all you fans, I hope you grow a pair and respect the past a little bit more. Even if you're young, you could still go on YouTube and watch old Bret Hart matches or Shawn Michaels matches or Mr. Perfect or whoever. Everything is not about Cena or The Rock or Hogan. You know, there's work rate too. I mean, it's not just about whether you're the best in the mic or not.
Yeah, a pose, a good catchphrase. Okay, those are all cool, I guess. but it's about what she can do in the ring, and that's what's going to get you a paycheck.
I mean, even if you end up saying, well, Bret Hart's not my favorite wrestler, or well, who's another guy? We'll say Mr. Perfect. He's not my favorite wrestler, but, you know, he made an impact in the business, so I respect that. There you go. None of this stupid, oh, he's not Stone Cold crap. Okay, I'm done.
And that will conclude episode number 9 of the 10-minute mark. Stay tuned. We're going to have episode 10 in a couple weeks. We're going to have favorite WrestleManias, worst WrestleManias.
Yep.
We're going to go through and pick our favorite ones and the worst ones, and we're going to go from there. So until then, thank you very much, and we are done!
Leave your comments down there.
In your face. As the kids might, I just like it in your face. Triple H in the net.
That's awesome, dude.